Hi guys, this is Mark from Zanko Jewelers back with another watch review, and today we're looking at one of the hottest brands on the market currently, which is Richard Mille. And not only is it the hottest brand that we're looking at, it's also one of the hottest watches on the market today, which is the Richard Mille RM 6702. So in my hands today is the Richard Mille RM 6702, which is probably one of the lightest watches I've ever handled in my career. And this one is 32 grams, so you can imagine just how light that feels. This also happens to be one of the hottest sports models in the market today, and for very good reason. The 6702 was the second version, or the sports version, of the 6701 titanium. This 6702 in particular was made for the alpine skier Alexis Pinturault. Being French, you can obviously see the synonymous colors of white, red and blue, which I think is a fantastic ode to the French skier. He's 34 years old, having 34 World Cup victories, which is a triumph in and of itself, and he's also an Olympic winner, or Olympic bronze medalist. In terms of the watch's aesthetics then, the bezel and the case back are made in a white quartz TPT. These are quartz fibers that are generally used for very high performance applications due to their resistance to very high temperatures and strength. It also has transparency to electromagnetic waves, so there is a lot of innovation put behind this material. In order to make the quartz case, the quartz is heated to 120 degrees Celsius to mold and is multi-layered, which gives you this nice wave of pattern in the 6702 models. It of course has the skeletonized dial that is synonymous with the Richard Mille brand, and the bridges in the dial are hand painted in the colors of the French flag to align with Alexis Pinturault. The case band is made in carbon TPT with 8 grade 5 titanium screws on the bezel, which give it a nice utilitarian look. The hands are satin finished with beveled hands and sharp lines, making it extremely sporty. The Richard Mille is written at 12 o'clock in red, and the Swiss made also in red at the 6 o'clock. The red rubber ring, which is an accent color for this with white outlining, is on the crown. The watch uses the RM comfort strap, which is a woven textile with titanium rods to support it, and it has no buckle on the strap, so it just slides straight onto the wrist and is very snug to wear. Now, in terms of the technical specifications of this watch, it's 38.7 millimeters wide with 47.5 millimeters long and only 7.8 millimeters thick, so it's extremely thin. What makes this even more pronounced is the weight of this watch, which is just a measly 32 grams, which is linked to the usefulness for this watch in any sports application. The skeletonized automatic wind and movement behind this watch is the CRM A7. It features the hours and minutes and a power reserve of around 50 hours minus or plus 10%. The watch also has 30 meters of water resistance, which I find astonishing for a watch so light and for something you wouldn't think actually has any water resistance at all. This Alexis Pinturault 6702 now retails on the secondary market around £370,000. They've definitely become more scarce as I've seen less and less become available. And this puts the Alexis Pinturault as one of the most expensive 6702s in its range. This watch was released as part of the second batch of 6702s that hit the market alongside the Alexander Zverev and Sebastian Ogier versions. Now, if we were to compare this 6702 in a tiered list from most expensive to least expensive, you would have the 6702 that's in my hands right now, which is the Alexis Pinturault, then going down to the Ogier, which sits around £330,000 on the secondary market today. You then have the Italy version for 2025 example, you're looking also around £320,000. You then have the Mutaz Barshim version, which is a very popular model as well, but that sits around £300,000 for the Qatari Olympic high jumper. Then sitting just under that is the Alexander Zverev, which is also a black carbon NTPT, sitting around £290,000. And then the Van Niekerk for the South African sprinter, which is around £250,000 today. Across the board, these watches have all seen more or less anywhere between £50,000 to £100,000 increase in the last few years. And that again is due to scarcity, but also the popularity of the 6702 models. I think based on the watch's size and legibility and also lightness, it's become a model that everyone wants to get their hands on from Richard Mille. That has definitely reflected on the secondary market prices, and now I would say this is probably the most sought after Richard Mille for the general masses. If you are looking for this specific example, we do have this available with us, so please make sure to get in contact through our website or WhatsApp. And as always guys, if you did enjoy this video and you want to see more Richard Milles on the channel, please remember to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.